The General Hospital scoop for Monday, January 12th. Hints. Trina Robinson and Kai Taylor will have shocking news for Alexis Davis. Also coming up, Tracy Quartermain will make an accusation. Plus, Willow Kane will make a confession to her mother, and Ned Quartermain will drop a bombshell. GH spoilers tease Willow will tell Nina Reeves that everything she's done for her children. Does that include shooting Drew Kane? Yet it doesn't seem like Willow's going to confess that truth to Nina. Meanwhile, Tracy will try to get to the bottom of who was eavesdropping on her and Michael Corinthos. She thinks it may have been Harrison Chase, and on Monday, she'll point the finger at someone. But will she begin to suspect it was Martin Gray? Over with Ned, who will have something to tell Chase, Olivia Quartermain, and Brooklyn Quartermain. Did Drew do something that we don't know about? Olivia asks her husband in the GH sneak peek. So, will he tell them Drew left him outside Bobby's to die? Other GH spoilers tease Molly. Davis will confide in Christina Corinthos. Plus, Cody Bell will think he's ruined things with Molly. And Michael will tell Jacinda Bracken she's his ticket out of there. Finally, Trina and Kai will admit to Alexis that they were in the congressman's house when he was shot. They'll also say they heard a Twinkle Twinkle Little Star ringtone coming from the shooter's phone, and it just happens to be the ringtone Willow has for her son. No doubt, Alexis will be stunned. However, she's Willow's defense attorney, so she'll definitely be torn about what to do next. But will she be willing to turn over information that would prove her client is guilty? At any rate, it looks like a great episode is coming up. Keep reading the Soap Scoop for more General Hospital spoilers and news. And make sure you join our free GH Facebook group. General Hospital fans have their answer. Willow was the one who shot Drew, which is what many have suspected all along. From the moment Drew was shot, Soap Central had predicted Willow would turn out to be the culprit because who would have more motivation to want this man dead than the woman whose life he ruined? But now that we have our answer, what comes next? Although we had predicted a who shot Drew mystery a year ago, the General Hospital writers didn't solidify the plan until the spring of 2025, moving full speed ahead into the summer to gather a list of possible suspects. By the time we saw someone pump bullets into Drew's back, almost everyone in Port Charles had a motive to want Drew dead. But nobody, more so than Willow, head writers Elizabeth Korda and Chris Van Etten knew this, as she was slated to be the shooter long before Drew was shot. I think Elizabeth was the first one to say it, and I completely agreed, Van Etten told Soap Opera Digest. When she said it, I was like, absolutely. To me, this was the culmination of a snowball effect on Willow. One thing after another was building to this moment where she finally opened her eyes and found herself in a pit of her own making and had to act to get out of it. And the best way that she could assert herself, to protect herself and begin to get back what she had lost in the course of her relationship with Drew, was to target him. In the end, it was Willow's ringtone for Wiley that clued Kai and Trina into the fact that the person standing trial was also the culprit, a rarity on soaps. Virtually from the very start, we wanted there to be one clue that would eventually lead back to Willow, Van Etten said. I paid attention, and early on, only a few people even caught that sound and wondered if it meant anything. And then, as weeks and months went by, people began to circle back to it. So I was very happy that that one thing was something only some people noticed, but it was there. Whether Willow will be acquitted or not still remains a mystery. This story is far from over. Multiple beats still need to be played out, including what Alexis will do when she learns her client is indeed guilty. Kai and Trina's revelation leaves Alexis in quite a pickle. There is so much left to unfold, Van Etten admitted. Revealing who shot Drew is, I think, the end of a Chapter 1 or Chapter 2, depending on how you're constructing it. What happens as a result of Trina and Kai making this realization is going to cause huge drama for the people who have been involved in this trial or anyone who has been implicated, and that's barely even the beginning. General Hospital spoilers hint that Jason Morgan may move Britt Westbourne in the Quartermain mansion for protection, as all the Gen Z Sidwell drama escalates. Britt is in a tight spot since Jack Brennan delivered what she asked for. Since Britt was desperate to get her medical license back, she convinced Brennan to pull it off. Now Britt's in a risky position since Brennan expects her to report back with lab data and whatever else the WSB needs. This probably isn't going to end well for Britt any way you slice it. If Britt keeps dragging her feet or tries to give Brennan bogus updates, he's going to find out and could punish her for it. However, we can only imagine Sidwell's wrath if Britt actually gives Brennan the project details he's demanding. No matter how all this goes down, Britt is trapped in a dangerous situation that's only going to get more dangerous from here. If Britt eventually listens to Jason and tries to wiggle out of Sidwell's grasp, that could really add to the risks. Nevertheless, Jason refuses to abandon Britt and let her feel alone. It's clear that Jason has some deep feelings and that he wants Britt to live a safe, happy life. That can't happen if Sidwell targets Britt for her potential betrayal, or Brennan goes too far with his Britt-related demands. This storyline will come with some twists and turns as Jason keeps fighting for Britt's future, one that hopefully includes him. Britt and Jason have some romantic moments ahead of them, including a date and eventually some stuck-in-a-snowstorm chaos. Despite Britt's attempts to push Jason away, they'll feel a strong pull toward each other. If Jason and Britt stay on this road to a romantic relationship, there may come a point when he doesn't want her living over Bobby's anymore. Jason may have a different living arrangement in mind for Britt. That's especially true if Jason senses that the danger's getting worse when it comes to Sidwell, Brennan, and anyone else tangled up in all the turmoil. Jason may want to keep a closer eye on Britt, so he could perhaps move her in the Quartermaine mansion. That would require Tracy Quartermaine's permission, but Jason might score it and make Britt a new mansion dweller. It's certainly fun to think about Britt stirring up trouble at the Q estate with her presence. As a bonus, living under the same roof with Britt could bring Jason much closer to her. General Hospital spoilers say Britt and Jason will have some complex challenges to tackle, so we'll fill you in on any Sidwell news that might cause them to make some changes. General Hospital spoilers for the next 2 weeks, January 12th to January 23rd, reveal that Carly Spencer will make a disturbing discovery before Willow Kane's future is sealed. Ava Jerome will also have a stunning encounter, so here's what viewers can look forward to. During the week of January 12th to 16, Kai Taylor and Trina Robinson will fill Alexis Davis in on their belief that Willow is truly responsible for shooting Drew Kane. After Trina and Kai explain the ringtone situation and how they put all this together, Alexis may agree that Willow certainly seems guilty. However, it's tough to imagine Alexis derailing her own case at this point and intentionally ruining any chance of continuing Scout Quartermaine visits. It looks like Alexis is still going to give it everything she's got during closing arguments and try to get Willow a not guilty verdict. It won't be long until Willow is awaiting the jury's decision and hoping for the best. After Drew makes a vow, presumably to a worried Willow, he'll clash with Nina Reeves. Nina will put Drew on notice and remain protective of Willow, but GH fans know Willow's arguably the dangerous one since she really did shoot him. While Molly Lansing Davis and Cody Bell work on their communication skills, Britt Westbourne will face a threat. Will that threat come from Jack Brennan, or maybe Marco Rios since he's been tasked with supervising Britt for Gen Z's Sidwell? Regardless, Britt will let loose a bit when Jason Morgan takes her out on a date. Jason will also have the catch-up session with Elizabeth Baldwin as they trade info, so we'll see if this is about Willow's trial or something else. As for Valentine Cassadine, he'll take a gamble before Carly makes a disturbing discovery. Carly will realize Valentine is no longer hiding out in her attic and mull over where he might have gone. Ava seems poised to find Valentine on Spoon Island, since she's got a stunning encounter coming up. Sidwell will find out about an intruder thanks to Ava, and will have a response that catches her off guard. Anna Devane will also experience a shock, so stay tuned to see Valentine might land in her captivity space and face Sidwell's demands. Elsewhere, Carly will eavesdrop on a discussion and obtain some pivotal info that could perhaps help Carly with her Brennan revenge plot in some way. In the meantime, Giovanni Gio Palmieri and Emma Scorpio Drake will grow closer as they agree to take their relationship to the next level. Emma and Gio should hit the sheets as they deepen their connection. The week of January 19th 23 may bring a celebration for Willow if she's acquitted, but she'll still have to worry about the possibility of Drew remembering that she pulled the trigger on him. Across town, Britt may get a reminder from Marco about the dangers of divulging too much to Jason or anyone else. Jason may be frustrated by the post-date setback ahead, since it seems Britt will push him away. As for Michael, it looks like he'll land at the center of ADA Justine Turner's investigation, once Willow is a free woman. Nevertheless, Sonny Corinthos will strike back and keep plotting with Laura Collins to take down Sidwell too. General Hospital spoilers say the next 2 weeks will come with some chaos, so stick with us for updates on all the shocking news and heated confrontations. General Hospital spoilers reveal that there's been an Avery Corinthos danger alert. So will Sonny Corinthos' fears about Ava Jerome and Jen Sidwell be proven right? In GH's December 9th episode, Laura Collins spoke to Sonny about Sidwell's interest in both Lucy Coe and Ava. Sonny speculated the Ava angle was more about Sidwell proving that he could get close to Avery and mess with him. Whether that's one of Sidwell's goals or not, he's indeed spending a lot of time with Avery's mother. Sidwell and Ava are going to grow closer in the coming weeks, so that can only lead to trouble. Ava will form a real alliance with Sidwell, especially after she updates him on a Spoon Island trespasser. It looks like Ava will sound the alarm about Valentine Cassadine being on the property, so she'll earn Sidwell's gratitude. Sidwell will start to view Ava as someone who's loyal and willing to get down in the mud with him. Lucy is a schemer too, but Ava may be more willing to overlook Sidwell's dirty tactics and handle the enemies he makes along the way. At some point, Sidwell may cut Lucy loose and just focus on Ava as his main love interest. Ava and Sidwell seem genuinely attracted to each other, so that's something else to keep in mind. However, Sidwell is a dangerous villain who has no business being around children. There's no denying that, so what happens if Sidwell ultimately wants to move Ava in Windermere? That could lead to Avery spending a great deal of time at Windermere too, so Sonny would surely object. We also know Ava and Carly Spencer are gearing up for a reignited rivalry, so that may be at least partly about Avery. Carly remains protective of her former stepdaughter, so she may step up for Avery's sake and flip out about Ava's deepening relationship with Sidwell. If Sidwell turns against Ava down the road, Avery could indeed land in danger. Sidwell delivered some veiled threats against Ace Cassadine recently, so he could easily deliver some against Avery as well. General Hospital spoilers suggest Sonny and Ava could both end up concerned for Avery depending on how things play out, so don't miss any unsettling news to come. General Hospital spoilers hint that Nell Benson might haunt Willow Kane in a nightmare. Will Willow's proud sister offer a horrifying wake-up call? Now that the show's revealed Willow as Drew Kane's shooter, it's been interesting to look at the character with a fresh perspective following that news. Willow lied like it was nothing on the stand and told Drew everything he wanted to hear at the Port Charles Grill later. It's clear that Willow hates Drew for ruining her life, but she had no problem pretending he was her hero and showering him with praise. GH fans saw a glimpse of the real Willow soon after when she chuckled over Carly Spencer splashing Drew's drink on him. Willow's manipulative side is in full force, so she's acting more like her sinister sister than ever before. Nell would probably be proud of Willow if she were still alive to see her in all her twisted glory. Fortunately, there's still a way for Nell to get involved in this storyline if that's what the writers have in mind. Laura Collins had a nightmare not too long ago involving Esme Prince and Cyrus Renault, so it might be Willow's turn to be visited by a ghost of the past next. Willow has dreamed about Nell before and might do it again, so let's consider how that might play out. At this point, it doesn't seem like Willow has any remorse at all for what she's done. Willow is just focused on trying to get acquitted and ultimately get her kids back by any means necessary. Willow has undergone a major character transformation, so she's definitely not in any sort of good girl category anymore. The show has slowly turned Willow into the new Nell and made her into someone the old Willow would have loathed. Could Willow get a wake-up call about that eventually? It'd be interesting if Nell popped up in dream form to basically give Willow a pat on the back and highlight how they're just alike. Nell might argue that she knew Willow had it in her and insist their twin connection is strong, even if Willow doesn't want to see it. Of course, Nell could also praise Willow for her treatment of Michael Corinthos and suggest their mutual hatred of him is something they now have in common. Willow may not want to believe she's as out of her mind and cruel as Nell, but Nell may push Willow to stop thinking she's better than her at this point. After the way Willow fired at Drew twice and left him bleeding, Nell may push her to get off her high horse. General Hospital spoilers say Willow could have an epiphany sooner or later, so stay tuned for updates on whether Nell might contribute to it. General Hospital spoilers hint that Ava Jerome will bust Valentine Cassadine at Windermere. It appears Ava will discover the fugitive changing hideouts, so let's talk about Valentine's tricky situation. GH fans know Valentine was rattled over Charlotte Cassadine's second visit and decided it was best to leave Carly Spencer's attic. Carly pushed Valentine to stick around until he had a better plan, but Valentine may decide he's got one soon enough. On January 13th, Valentine will make a risky move. That same day, some alarm bells will go off for Carly. It sounds like Carly may head up to the attic and realize Valentine is gone, so she may worry about his next move and what this means for their alliance. However, January 13th is also when Ava will have a stunning encounter. Will Ava bump into Valentine while he's trying to settle into a new hideout and leave her floored? Since Valentine previously lived at Windermere, he knows all the nooks and crannies of it awfully well. Valentine will decide Spoon Island is the best place to hide now that the cops have already searched the property. It's possible GH writers could take some silly route and have Valentine disguised as a repairman or something along those lines. Ava could still sense that there's something familiar about the mystery guy she encounters in that case. It's also possible Ava will recognize Valentine right off the bat, which could lead to him begging her not to call the cops. Ava may agree not to alert the authorities, but Sidwell's going to get some important updates soon. We know from 2026 preview spoilers that Ava will eventually alert Sidwell to an intruder on the property. That'll bring Sidwell's shocking reaction, so he may be delighted since he's been hoping to hire Valentine and put his many talents to good use anyway. Sidwell may think it's wonderful that he doesn't have to go looking for Valentine and catch Ava off guard with his stance. General Hospital spoilers point to Ava and Valentine's storylines colliding during the week of January 12 to 16, so stay tuned for all the news to come. General Hospital spoilers for the next 3 weeks, January 12 to January 30th, reveal that fans should see Willow Kane's acquittal, Michael Corinthos under fire, Charlotte Cassadine's chaos, and Britt Westbourne's painful decision. The week of January 12 to 16 will bring closing arguments in Willow's trial, so Alexis Davis should finish strong despite Trina Robinson's and Kai Taylor's proof that Willow's guilty. After Drew Kane offers reassurance, Willow will await the verdict and trust that she can get away with pulling the trigger on him twice. As for Giovanni Gio Palmieri and Emma Scorpio Drake, it looks like their romance will take a passionate turn and result in them hitting the sheets for the first time. Next, Valentine Cassadine should stun Ava Jerome, since it looks like they're on a collision course. After Valentine Dean trades Carly's attic for a hideout on Spoon Island, he seems poised to have an Ava run-in. Ava will give Jen Sidwell updates sooner or later, but his reaction won't be what she expects. Sidwell may seem pleased over the intrusion, since he already told Marco Rios about wanting to recruit Valentine for their team. Of course, Sidwell is also holding Anna Devane hostage on Spoon Island, so there's the potential for Valentine to be held prisoner too. Sidwell could at least toss some threats around and make it clear that what happens to Anna next depends on Valentine, which would be a good way to keep him in line. It turns out Anna will face a jaw-dropping moment, which may involve an unexpected reunion with Valentine. While Carly Spencer does some snooping and overhears some info that'll work in her favor, Jason Morgan will be busy taking Britt out on a date. During the week of January 19th to 23, Britt may back off Jason despite their growing romantic connection. Marco will continue to monitor Britt for Sidwell and will offer a reminder that she shouldn't get too close to Jason. Sidwell doesn't want any secrets spilling, so Britt may dump Jason for his own protection, especially since Brennan is trying to force her to hand over data. As for Willow, GH spoilers point to her getting acquitted, which will bring problems for Michael when he becomes ADA Justine Turner's new suspect number 1 in Drew's shooting. However, Willow really did shoot Drew and may grow fearful as his missing memory of that night threatens to bubble up. The week of January 26 to 30 could bring more Cody Bell and Molly Lansing Davis complications. Although Molly and Cody will get on the same page about what they want out of this romance, her new novel will lead to some surprising drama between them. As for Charlotte, she'll give the police the slip again and leave Lulu Spencer in a panic. Nathan West will grow closer to Lulu as they try to track Charlotte down. Will Charlotte suspect Valentine is hiding at Windermere and show up there? Danny Morgan has vowed to help Charlotte, but they could both land in hot water by the end of all this. Rocco Falconeri may betray Charlotte by admitting she's been in touch with Valentine and add to the family mess that's brewing. General Hospital spoilers say the next 3 weeks will bring plenty of excitement, so stay tuned for all the shocking news and heated confrontations. General Hospital spoilers for January 12-16, 2026 tease the life-altering aftermath of Drew's shooter reveal. Laura convinced Kevin to take Ace to Ireland after Sidwell's latest threat. Dante and Ezra both hot the witness stand, while Christina tried convincing Jacinda to leave town before she has to testify. Portia turned down Curtis's desire for a paternity test, and Isaiah stood by her. Danny gave Charlotte a motorcycle ride to Carly's, where she met up with Valentine. Michael took the stand and asserted he did not shoot Drew, revealing he has a special ringtone for Wiley. Trina and Kai realized the ringtone must have been the Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star tune they heard at Drew's house that night. When Tracy took the stand, Alexis' folder with footage of Drew's street forced her to admit she saw Michael there that night. Later, Lulu helped Tracy realize that Alexis was bluffing, and Nathan informed Lulu that Charlotte went to the Q Mansion after school instead of drama club. Later, Dante caught Nathan accidentally breaking the chain of custody with a piece of evidence. Dante confided in Lulu about if he's at fault for how Michael turned out. Tracy wondered if Chase was behind what Alexis knew. Laura informed Martin that Kevin and Ace left Port Charles. When they later ran into Tracy, Martin thought back to the moment he overheard Michael and Tracy talking about the night of Drew's shooting. Trina and Kai weighed their options when it comes to Michael. Drew demanded Alexis call him and Willow to testify. Drew threw a fit on the stand about Michael. Willow testified, thinking back to the moment she got the gun and shot Drew. Later, when Wiley called her, Trina and Kai recognized the ringtone. When Brooklyn and Dante discussed him suspending Chase, Dante admitted he might be wrong, and Gio overheard. Tracy barged into Alexis' office demanding answers. Later, Trina and Kai decided to go tell Alexis what they know. Jason and Carly spotted Drew and Willow at the Port Charles Grill, and Drew taunted them like usual. Britt admitted to Brad that she kissed Jason. Laura spoke with Sonny and compared her situation as mayor to Luke's. While the world has been grieving Anthony Geary for weeks, Laura admitted Luke has been on her mind for a while during the January 9, 2026 episode of General Hospital. When Laura and Sonny met up for another Sidwell update, Laura continued apologizing for getting Sonny involved in her mess. She recounted that night scrolling through her phone, looking for someone to call. Viewers may remember she considered calling Martin and called Alexis before finally dialing Sonny, but her first instinct pulled on everyone's heartstrings. "I had the most strong and visceral impulse to call Luke," Laura cried to Sonny. It was a moment that hit viewers harder after the recent death of Geary, proving that Luke's presence is still felt in Port Charles over a decade after his portrayer's exit. But Luke being her soulmate wasn't the only reason she wanted to call her ex-husband. Laura immediately compared her situation, being the mayor of Port Charles under Sidwell's thumb, to Luke's run as mayor in the 80s when he was being controlled by the ominous Frank Smith. Laura's now experiencing what Luke once did, able to put herself in his shoes, and it brings Luke and Laura's story full circle during a time when Luke is being missed the most, both on and off screen. Right now, Laura is missing Luke the same way Frances revealed she's grieving Geary. General Hospital spoilers for January 12th. Take things back to Drew's shooting and Willow's trial when Trina admits to Alexis she knows Willow was the shooter, and how she knows it. General Hospital spoilers for the week of January 12th to 16th, 26. Tease Willow's verdict and Valentine's risky move. Unbeknownst to everyone, Trina and Kai have been conducting their own little investigation into who shot Drew after being at the scene of the crime. They first worried it was Portia or Curtis, then were certain it was Michael until hearing Willow's special ringtone for Wiley. The tune of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star playing through the courtroom confirmed for the couple that it was in fact Willow who shot her husband. And now, they're taking what they know to Alexis. After Alexis gets the shock about her client, she's left explaining herself by the end of the week while Willow awaits her fate. It's also looking like a big week for couples in Port Charles. On Monday, after convincing her to stay, Michael will grow closer to Jacinda. Later in the week, Jason and Britt will finally go on a date, while Gio and Emma take the next step in their relationship. Even Brooke Lynn will be on Chase's side on Thursday when the suspended detective needs defending. The accusation in question could easily come from Tracy, who believes he eavesdropped on her and Michael and fed information to Alexis. As for Valentine, he may no longer be stuck in Carly's attic when he takes a risk on Tuesday. By Wednesday, he'll have survived a close call, while Anna ends the week stunned. Could Valentine finally make his way to her? General Hospital spoilers and updates suggest that Lulu Spencer and Nathan West have been spending significantly more time together recently, leading to a growing closeness between them. However, this development feels odd since Lulu is the best friend of Maxie Jones, and Nathan is considered her soulmate. We're going to discuss why he's been getting so close to Lulu, and why it could be someone with Nathan's appearance who's really obsessed with her, and also explore who that might be. You might remember that last week, Nathan and Lulu shared a moment on New Year's Eve. At that time, Nathan was at Lulu's house watching for Valentine Cassadine while working for the PCPD. However, since Nathan returned to General Hospital, he has seemed different. He says he doesn't remember anything from the past 7 years, yet he was driving a stolen car and crashed it. If you recall, Lulu was the one who discovered him that night. Even though she didn't see the driver clearly, she didn't know it was Nathan. She just called 911 for help. So, aside from the amnesia and the 7 lost years, it's strange that Nathan is getting closer to Lulu. This is another sign that something is off with Nathan. He genuinely appears to be interested in her. It felt like a significant change for Nathan and Lulu as 2026 started. That was when they began to realize how much they have in common. They had a profound conversation about both returning from the dead and discussed Dante Falconeri and Maxie. They connected over the years they lost. Nathan told Lulu that she has him, and she replied that he has her. They support each other, and there were definitely sparks between them. Nathan and Lulu were once friends, back then. Nathan was married to Maxie and was Dante's best friend, and Lulu was with Dante and was also Maxie's close friend, which she still is. However, Dante is no longer with Lulu, and Maxie was with Damian Spinelli when she fell into a coma caused by Jen Sidwell. Since then, Dante has placed Lulu firmly in the co-parenting role. He was grieving the loss of Sam McCall, but Lulu had also annoyed him. Dante directly told Lulu he didn't want to be with her, which made her angry and hurt. However, she has moved on, and now they are just co-parents and friends. Recently, it seems that Lulu and Nathan are developing a connection. In the 2026 GH spoilers, Lulu and Nathan are on a mission to find Charlotte Cassadine after she escapes from the police who are watching her to prevent Valentine from reaching her. While searching for Charlotte, Lulu and Nathan end up in each other's arms. Interestingly, Nathan doesn't appear very worried about Maxie. He has mentioned her occasionally, especially to Lulu, and expressed concern that Maxie might not want the life they had before he was thought to be dead. Nathan claims he fears Maxie might choose to stay with Spinelli, but this could just be him saying what he thinks people want to hear. Aside from that, Nathan hasn't talked much about Maxie, and he hasn't yet visited her at the long-term care facility, although he promised James West he'd take him. Everything feels odd. Also, it seems Nathan doesn't spend much time with James. It was easy for Nathan to agree to let James stay with Spinelli. Occasionally, Nathan has done small things, like giving James that Christmas present. But honestly, I think Cody Bell spends more time with James than Nathan does. He mentioned wanting his job back at the PCPD to secure a home for himself, and James Nathan got his job back. Yet I don't see him moving James in or inviting him over. It appears Nathan is just focused on work and spending time with Lulu. Naturally, Nathan has been at her place for PCPD matters since Valentine is still out there. However, the recent changes between Nathan and Lulu make me question if there's something more going on. It's strange to think Nathan would have any romantic feelings for Lulu, considering their history. It's doubtful the real Nathan would feel that way, but I can't help but wonder if someone else is influencing him. Nathan might be like a shell, with another person controlling his thoughts right now. Initially, many thought it could be his brother, Peter August, in his mind, but we know Peter was fixated on Maxie. So, the interest in Lulu doesn't add up if it were Peter, unless it relates to Dante, since he did attempt to kill Peter while under WSB's brainwashing. This made me wonder who could be in the Nathan-like skin suit, obsessed with Lulu and trying to pursue her. The first person that came to mind, even though he's dead, though death doesn't mean much in soap operas, is Stavros Kassadine. He was really into Lulu back in the day. Stavros had a fixation on Lulu, which is strange since he was Nicholas Kassadine's father. He wanted to marry her and have children. Stavros viewed Lulu as a sort of Laura Spencer 2.0 because he had previously been infatuated with Lulu's mother. Stavros even kidnapped Lulu, placing her in a cryogenic chamber to keep her young forever, calling her his ice princess. He was quite deranged. Stavros did marry Lulu, but that marriage was annulled because he forced her to say, "I do." So yes, I understand that Stavros is said to be dead, but the Kassadines are notoriously difficult to kill. And then, Nathan was dead too. It could also be Nathan's father, Cesar Faison, in his mind, trying to make Lulu fall for Nathan. In Faison's twisted perspective, he might believe that keeping Nathan away from Maxie is the right choice, since she has moved on with Spinelli. Additionally, Faison had a long-standing feud with Lulu's father, Luke Spencer. At one point, Faison and Helena Kassadine kidnapped Lucky Spencer and brainwashed him to turn against the Spencers. Therefore, this could be linked to an old grudge between Faison and Luke. That brings up an interesting thought. Jen Sidwell held Lucky captive too, and is involved in Faison's final project. Some people even posit that Cyrus Renaud might have been memory mapped into Nathan. But his interest in Lulu can't be romantic. For one thing, he's her uncle. For the other, Jack Brennan and the WSB disappeared his body. Certainly, it could indeed be the genuine Nathan, yet he bears the scars of trauma from whatever transpired during those 7 lost years. This might explain his tendency to steer clear of Maxie while growing closer to Lulu. In fact, the bond formed through their shared trauma between Nathan and Lulu could be what we are witnessing unfold at this moment. Once Maxie regains consciousness and Nathan lays eyes on her, the dynamics could shift, potentially creating a triangle of trauma bonds among the three. We will observe how this develops. However, it seems that for the time being, that may not truly be Nathan in Nathan's body. Or perhaps it's not Nathan in his head. General Hospital spoilers are in for the week of January 12, 2026. Fans can expect Anna Devane to be stunned. Carly Spencer overhears valuable intel. Plus, Ava Jerome has a shocking encounter. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the ABC soap opera. Let's start off with Alexis Davis. Trina Robinson and Kai Taylor pay the lawyer a visit. The couple can't go to the police without incriminating themselves. So, they are taking the intel about the ringtone to Alexis. However, all this time, Alexis truly believed in Willow Tate Kane's innocence. Fans now realize that Willow shot Drew all along, but this news will stun Alexis. When she first took on Willow's case, she made her promise no secrets or lies. Alexis had to know the whole truth. Willow insisted that she didn't shoot Drew, and Alexis gave her the benefit of the doubt. With closing statements the next day, there isn't a lot of time for Alexis to take action. Plus, Willow is her client, so there are certain rules she has to follow to keep her law license. By Friday, Alexis makes a decision as she has to explain her actions. However, Willow still waits to learn her fate. Next up, we have Britt Westbourne. The woman confided in Brad Cooper about kissing Jason Morgan. Although Jason explained that to Britt, Brad warns she could get her heart broken all over again. Jason asks Britt out on a date next week. However, Britt will also get threatened. General Hospital spoilers for next week reveal that Ava will have a shocking encounter. Could that be with Valentine Cassadine? It is teased that the man takes a big risk. That same day, Ava has a shocking encounter. As the week progresses, Valentine will have a close call. As for what else to expect, Molly Lansing Davis makes a confession to Christina Corinthos Davis. Meanwhile, Cody Bell is frustrated. In a preview clip, it looks like Cody will vent to Outback. Michael Corinthos gets closer to Jacinda Breckel. While Michael wants her to stay in Port Charles, her history could complicate things. Jason and Elizabeth Liz Baldwin compare notes. Sonny Corinthos demands answers. Meanwhile, Carly overhears valuable intel. Brooke Lynn Quartermain defends Harrison Chase. This must be who Tracy Quartermain accuses in the preview clip for Monday. That could force BLQ to choose between her grandmother and her husband. Plus, Laura Collins plays Peacemaker. Giovanni Gio Palmieri and Emma Scorpio Drake take the next step in their relationship. Also, Anna is stunned. What surprises does the hostage face now? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on ABC to find out what happens next. General Hospital spoilers reveal a bombshell that shook the fanbase today as Willow Tate Kane's flashbacks of the night Drew Kane was shot unearthed a secret. Willow shot Drew. In the land of soap operas, the law isn't always followed the way it is in the real world. That is to say, sometimes these soap writers love to toss around the term double jeopardy in situations that may appear to be justified to the layperson, but would never hold up in a real court of law. So, theoretically, Soapland may allow Willow to get off on these charges, go on to shoot and kill Drew, and then claim she can't be tried again for the crime because of double jeopardy. I don't think it'll go that way. Here's why. The double jeopardy clause doesn't allow the same person to be tried for a crime they have already been ruled as not guilty of. It's that simple, and yet it's not. Sometimes people speak off the cuff about it, and sometimes juicy soaps get all wrapped up in the legalese they don't think the viewers will see through, and they pull out legal terms that don't fit the situation. This could be one of those times. Double jeopardy would mean if Willow is found not guilty of shooting Drew, she can't be tried again for it. But it doesn't stop there. While Willow could not be tried again for the September 2025 shooting of Drew Kane, she could be tried if there was a new shooting, and if the new shooting leads to his death. The clause doesn't prevent her from ever being tried in the same act again, but only from being tried for the same exact case. So, claims that the law will protect Willow if she can get off this time will only protect her for that shooting, not if she or anyone else shoots Drew again. Although the storyline around Drew's shooting has been going on for 4 months now, I'm now suspicious that this is only the beginning. Fear not, with Drew out of the way, the rest of it may become far more tolerable. There is no doubting that the fans are tired of Drew and might even celebrate him being killed off the show. Sorry, Cameron, but if Willow is acquitted, it's probable that District Attorney Justine Turner will go after Michael Corinthos for the crime. Does that mean Drew dies, Willow gets her kids back, and Michael gets carted off to prison for killing his ex-wife's lover? I don't think it's going to be that simple, folks. Stay tuned for more GH news and spoilers to see how this plays out. General Hospital spoilers leak, we may be saying goodbye to Jack Brennan sooner than we ever expected. As the gossip mill continues to churn out a rumor that one of GH's leading men will be leaving us in the new year, speculation is rife over who that might be. One strong theory is that just as many were getting to love Chris McKenna even more than they loved Charles Majour, a feat few saw coming. We may have to bid Jack farewell altogether. With Valentine Cassadine hiding out at Carly Spencer's like it's a bunker, and Jack being the grenade that could blow up his world, will the WSB's pursuit of a Cassadine fugitive be the thing that takes Jack down? Jack has to have some sense of the risk he faces chasing after a fugitive who is likely nearby and knows exactly where to find him. He and Valentine go way back, and they both have an understanding of who each other are. Valentine knows Jack will take any chance he has to kill him on the spot and claim he had to, so he's not going to be reckless. Plus, He wants to be a part of whatever he and Carly Spencer are planning to bring Jack to ruins. Will Valentine take him out in the end, though, to make sure he is never a problem again? Of course, Carly's plan to destroy Jack's life will have to have some limitations. She's messing with one of the most powerful men in the WSB. She may be able to count on him having real feelings for her, but that doesn't mean he won't turn them off in an instant if they get in the way of him accomplishing whatever mission he's working toward. She can't undo the damage he has done by luring Jocelyn Joss Jacks into the WSB, and she has nothing and no one she can take from Jack to inflict similar pain, except maybe for herself. Can you see Carly taking a life, though? What wouldn't she do for her daughter? Speaking of Carly's Minmi, Joss sure has turned out a lot more like Carly than anyone expected her to. She's feisty and not inclined to take orders without pushing back. She goes rogue from time to time, gets in over her head, and needs someone else to bail her out. That's where Jack tends to lose his patience. But is there a chance he pushes her too far one of these times, and she acts out of fury, much like she did when she shot Cyrus Renault? General Hospital spoilers reveal that Caitlin McMullen recently opened up about the shooter twist and what's next for Willow. In a new interview with Saudi, Mamay Ois, McMullen discussed the story curveball and all the details behind it. In the beginning, no one on set knew who really pulled the trigger on Drew Kane. A decoy actor was used in the shooting scenes to preserve the surprise, so even the cast and crew members were left wondering who was actually responsible. Caitlin McMullen had a hunch that Willow might be to blame, but she didn't know anything for certain until GH executive producer Frank Valentini leaked the big news to her right before the trial was filmed. He said, "You know you shot him, right?" I was like, "No!" There was a brief moment of surprise, because we'd all been wondering for so long, and then I thought, okay, great, this is gonna be crazy, bestingies. But really fun, McMullen said. Valentini promised plenty of excitement in Willow's storyline, so McMullen hasn't been disappointed so far. McMullen talked about how intriguing it's been to explore this side of Willow and mull over all the possibilities. Of course, Willow committed a serious crime, so McMullen acknowledged that she couldn't justify the lengths her character went to. Nevertheless, it's McMullen's job to climb around Willow's brain a bit and try to understand what she was going through. And that's been a cool challenge, to try to get into the mind of someone who might be a little bit out of their mind, McMullen admitted. Caitlin McMullen also reflected on working with acting coach Holly Gagne to figure out how she was going to play all this. That brought conversations about some different angles regarding Willow and how long she's actually recalled shooting Drew. One of those angles involved the possibility of Willow remembering her guilt right there on the witness stand. My coach and I were kind of playing with the idea of her remembering what she did right then and there, and being that it's a flashback and a memory, I don't know if she is fully convinced and believes that she did it, McMullen said. Regardless, it seems like McMullen is willing to go wherever the writers want to take Willow at this point. McMullen is looking forward to learning more about Willow's mental state that night and seeing what's ahead for her character. How did you feel about Willow being revealed as Drew's shooter? Were you bummed, or did you find the shocker satisfying? General Hospital spoilers say Willow's guilt will continue to drive the drama in some wild ways, so stay tuned for updates on all the mayhem to come. Be sure to make us your top GH source for all the hottest General Hospital spoilers, updates, and news you're looking for.